Debbie Georgatos, she is a political strategist. Debbie, good morning.
Good morning.
Following this Trump-Russia probe, the president out last week tweeting, I am under investigation. And then over the weekend, his attorney out saying he is not under investigation. What's going on here?
Well, the Washington Post ran a story that named, as they have been doing so much recently, unnamed sources from the Mueller investigation claiming that Trump is now under investigation. And so President Trump clarified, or Jay Sekulow on his behalf clarified, that President Trump was just referring to the Washington Post story. And Jay Sekulow confirmed that the Trump people, the Trump team, has not heard from the Mueller investigation at all about Trump being under investigation. They're trying to confirm, he is not under investigation.
Robert Mueller, does not seem to be the type of guy that is into leaks. Do you feel that way?
I do. I think he's actually a consummate professional. Yeah. I mean, at least with respect to not having leaks. But I think it's incumbent on him to try to figure out if there really are leaks from his team and at least remove, if not prosecute, people who do those kind of things. And I think it's incumbent. I would love more pressure on the Washington Post about not running unnamed source stories because they're really interfering with the investigation.
Yeah. But I do understand. So they're saying the president was referring to the Washington Post story, but this is not the first time this has happened where his staff, the press room, to attorneys, people close to the president say one thing and the president tweets out another. I mean, this seems to be a problem in this administration.
Well, it is inherently a problem when you choose Twitter, which I actually, in some ways, commend the president for realizing the power of Twitter. Yeah. He's able to go right around the press and talk to his people, but because it's limited to 140 characters, you can't explain things in terms that you can't put all the qualifiers in that you need to. Yeah. And so it does create a bit of a mess for him. It's challenging for his supporters, too, his staff. Right,
because and it also keeps all of this going. Would it be better for this, because this investigation, reporters can ask all the questions they want. Ultimately, it's the investigation that will come out with their results. Mueller will come out with his results. Is it better to just kind of let this go on and begin to shift towards policy and doing the things you want to accomplish as president?
I would love to see Donald Trump pursue two parallel tracks. One is exactly what you just said. Yeah. He does need to be using Twitter, talking about, we got the House bill done on this issue. We had the House pass 500 bills. They're sitting in the Senate. He needs to be prompting the Senate to pass these things, touting his accomplishments. They just had a whistleblower bill pass and get signed. His executive accomplishments, the coal industry is coming back. A lot of positive energy could come from that Twitter feed, and I think it needs to, and I think if you can have Americans focusing on that and taking away the headlines that are just endless Russia, Trump, probe, Comey, blah, blah, that'd be helpful. Yeah. I do, however, think that the Trump should use Twitter to point out and to help the American public get a handle on the level of injustice or inconsistency between him being investigated for a year when the FBI has come up with nothing connecting him with Russia, and the things that occurred on the previous administration. Fast and furious. Just a big finding came out about 2 weeks ago that it was just horrible conduct by President Obama, by then Attorney General Eric Holder. It was obstruction beyond description. They were not going to, they took the obstruction and ran with it, and there's nothing criminal that came out of that. There was no impeachment effort. And I think that Trump needs to keep pointing this out to the American people so they begin to see this investigation as unjust.
Well, that's part of the what you're talking about is the fight back, where there's a team now, it seems, that's connected to the president that is going to fight back in defense of the president here, and it seems to be pretty active as of at least the last couple of weeks.
Oh, and I think it needs to be, I'll say as a lawyer, just stepping back from all of this. Yeah. You have a president who's, the day after he was elected, is beginning to hear, but after he won the election, beginning to hear from Democrat pundits and media and elected officials that his win was unjust, there was something wrong with it, it wasn't fair. he colluded. And so this has created this whole atmosphere of suspicion and illegitimacy around him, and it's being perpetuated. We're now into, 6 months of his presidency, and we're still talking about whether his win was legitimate, and this is exactly what his enemies intend. And so I think you can't just let this air of suspicion be played out by the media, by some in the media and the left, without fighting back.
I have to come to you from the other side here. Come on. When was the last time we heard a president that every time he spoke, whether he was with foreign leaders or doing a press conference, talking about how big his win was? He's the one that really brings this stuff up. Why can't he just say, I mean, I hate to say it, but George W. Bush was able to do it, and that one was really close. So why does the president keep bringing it up?
Well, if he were allowing me to control his Twitter feed, yes, I would agree that there are a lot of things that they feed into the egotistical reputation he has, the persona that he is, and it's not helpful. But I mean, the substance of critiquing what is the fairness level here with an investigation on Russia that's produced nothing, but we're still keeping it up. And now they're talking about the really dangerous area they're entering is they're talking about whether or not President Trump could be prosecuted for obstruction of justice based on the motive he had in his heart, in his thinking, when he terminated FBI Director Comey.
Right.
Here he's got absolute constitutional authority to fire him for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
But now they're going to talk about his motive, and that could be obstruction. That's dangerous and definitely wrong.
All right, Debbie, we appreciate your time. Debbie Georgatos, thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.